My name is Brandon-Baghaee. I am the 2026 Winter Artist in Residence here at the Aurora Cultural Centre, and I am a visual artist, specifically an oil painter. My work consists of self-portraits exploring identity, belonging, and cultural history and memory. I recently graduated from OCAD University in 2024. What brought me into the world of art was, I think, always having an interest in images. From a really early age, I was interested in sketching and art and expressing myself through creativity. And what got me into painting was transferring to a different high school to pursue basketball. I wanted to take Spanish, but they had just got rid of the Spanish, and I was like, okay, I'll do visual arts. I know I like art and I'm pretty good at it, and I just fell in love with it. I started painting with acrylic that year. By I think my first year in university, 2021, I was using oil paint. For my residency at the Aurora Cultural Centre, I'm focusing on Afro-Caribbean cultural history and memory informed by my Jamaican grandparents. And in each piece, I'm planning on referencing them through different things that I felt or feel embodies who they are or who they were, and things that took up a lot of their time, essentially hobbies that they had. And through this, looking to honor and remember them, but at the same time drawing connections and thinking more historically about these things that they loved and enjoyed from a cultural lens. With my grandmother, she was a seamstress, so honoring her history as a seamstress. She sewed her own wedding dress and my mother's wedding dress, and thinking about that, it's this history of white garments, these very sort of grand or opulent white garments, even delicate, you could say. My figure is dressed in this white armor, and I have a lace cape, which is a direct reference to that history with my grandmother, but at the same time thinking about the history of Jamaican women and sewing as a form of resistance. The painting that I'm working on is a portrait of my grandmother holding my mom in a stained glass effect. It honors my grandmother's one regret of not learning how to make stained glass. My grandfather, he loves music and has a huge vinyl collection. He used to work on planes, so honoring this, but at the same time thinking about the history of music in Jamaica with the sound system and how that served and continues to serve as a form of resistance. So the crown on my head, that crown references one of the pioneers of the sound system in Jamaica. His name was King Tubby, and he always wore a crown as a sort of character type of thing. He was very innovative with sound systems because he was an engineer and understood how to work an electrical perspective. That's an example of the stories that I'm working with and how I can honor the people in my life. My artist influences include Sasha Gordon. She's an amazing painter based in New York City who also works with oil paint and self-portraiture. I also really like this artist by the name of Toyin Oji Odutola. She's a Nigerian-American artist, and I really love her works because she's able to be very creative with her world building and telling stories through her work. I also love this artist by the name of Argavan Khosravi. She's a Persian artist, and I love the fantastical effects she uses in her works and how she references Persian miniature paintings and art history. Lastly, one of my favorite artists, Titus Kafar. He does figurative work as well. He's a Black American artist, and I really love how he deals with art history in his own way and how Black people have been presented throughout art history, especially in painting, and how he sort of reimagines and dissects this. What comes to mind are some of the artists that I admire, like Sasha Gordon. She works in self-portraiture. Seeing her works and how willing she is to put herself to explore certain stories is very inspiring, and to my practice and making that decision. As I reflect on a lot of my older works where it wasn't a direct self-portrait or self-representation, the stories and the themes that I was dealing with were about me or about the people around me. Thematically, it was all the same, identity, belonging, history, diaspora, all these things. And so I made the choice to do self-portraiture. It makes it a lot easier to, I think, explore these themes. In a painting, I'm abstracting myself in or changing the color. I have all the liberty to do what I please with my body and my figure. The most important part that is unseen is my process of taking images of myself and editing these images in Photoshop. A lot of times I feel like I am sort of just brainstorming ideas and I want the composition to look like. Once that sort of comes together, along with research as well, I'll then take the photos and edit it and begin painting. Most of the things in the image are from me, like the flower pot, the cross, the easel, the canvas, table with art supplies were originally in the image, and things like the window and the armor were added in, and with those things I'll scour the internet and see if there's anything that fits what I'm trying to capture in my work. Yeah, so it's a bit of both. That's sort of my journey and process with getting into art and painting. Yeah, I'm really excited about being the winter artist in residence here.